Haha, what's good with you, Bleach fans, and all you weebs in between? You are now tuned into Reishi Radio, the soulless podcast of all time for Bleach Both the Souls. I'm your host, Jig, and on today's episode, we got a guest by the name of the iconic, the sensational, the student of the game, Lee the Warlord. Welcome to the show.
What's up? It's good to be here, man. I'm glad you have me on.
I'm glad you're here too. Hold up. I'm about to hit you with Sean Evans Hot Ones intro real quick.
Okay.
Close to us. Oh damn! All right, I got this one take. Close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, Lee is also a fellow content creator on this road to success. A student of the game, focusing on Bleach Rebirth the Souls currently, it is an honor to have him on the show. Again, welcome. We're about to go crazy with this one.
Absolutely, I am excited.
I mean, with the hottest topic being that we're not even gonna get a trailer today, so we don't even have today's character to talk about.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, with that being said, though, at least we still are getting some content a little bit later this week, a couple days from now. But that's still definitely a wet blanket for sure.
Right. Oh, it hurt it. That shit hurt it for real. They do their last minute promotion. The only time we can give them a leeway, no pun intended, was that time with the Espada trailers where they at least told us on what was it, Saturday? And
Yeah. Yep.
everybody said it was going to be Neutra, and I'm so glad it wasn't, even though it was his birthday. That motherfucker can go jump off a bridge. No offense, Neutra fans. But he's one of the more annoying ones, but he'd be fun to adapt because of his Bankai looking like one of those Buddhist paintings of the gods they portray. Not Buddhist, was it Indian gods with the 6 arms and whatnot?
Yeah, the Hindu.
The
Yeah.
Hindu, exactly. It would be cool, but it would also be a pain to play against. So Neutra Mains will obviously be an automatic enemy. And no Karaku, it doesn't hurt too much. I'm pretty sure he might be next week because, well, 1,000 Year Blood War going down, not spoiling anything, but he doing something. And otherwise, I think we might as well just turn this into a random prediction episode before we get our inevitable release date on Wednesday, because there's no other thing that we're going to get from the second trailer.
Yeah, I'm like, what could they possibly be announcing? We've already got the character trailers, we've already got the story mode reveal, we've already got the original announcement. Like, what else is left for them to announce other than I don't think they'd make a whole trailer for something like crossplay. You know what I mean?
It would be nice if they did. I don't even think it's going to be a
It
features
definitely would
trailer.
be,
It looks
but
like they're
yeah,
going to
I
do,
don't think it would be anything else other than
yeah,
just the announcement for the release date.
and like announcing extra skins because you see Cape Ichigo. What I will spoil, sorry y'all who haven't watched the original 366, but come on, what is y'all doing? We gotta go crazy with that one. That's the original run that they're gonna adapt for the game. Cape Ichigo is what he
Exactly.
used when he saved Rukia from what was it? The Sokyoku. Basically the execution stand. So basically a whole lot of
Mhm.
fits are inbound. We might get Karakura high skins for like whatchamacallit, Rangiku, Ikaku, and Yumichika if they show up, and definitely Ichigo, and Uryu, and Chad, and Orihime. There's a whole
Absolutely.
list. There's a whole list of skins that people could have that match.
And the fact that we got something as small as the fake soul, well, I guess it was a real Soul Reaper gi that they had on when Orihime and Uryu infiltrated the Soul Society and then jumped those Soul
Exactly.
Reapers. Like, that was such a small thing for them to add. I'm like, oh no, they're going crazy with these
But it was
cosmetics.
fire, exactly. When they all fitted out
I
when
do have a
Shihaka
question
shows
for
when
you
they're
though.
infiltrating. Shoot.
So, do you think that we are going to get like customizable characters as well? So like say we both have Ukiyo-e when we play online, but I give my guy like a little halo over his head and a mask on his
Oh,
face, kind of like how Tekken, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you
yeah, I
think we'll
saw
get that
that.
type of functionality?
You saw that from that one video as well. Somebody dropped I forgot which of the classic PS2 games that was from, but it did do Tekken customizable customization as well. And I think absolutely not.
Damn.
I- I'm not even saying that like I'm against it though. But from what we've
Hmm.
been shown so far, it is a high possibility and it will be really sick. It would also be sick if we could actually spin the colors on whichever fit they're
Ooh,
wearing, unless they want to go the route of we can't change the colors of the geese, the shihakushos they're wearing. We can't make yours blue or
yeah,
orange because that would go against what they originally wore in the anime. So if they do not have
right,
that, then they might not have people having glasses or putting a T-shirt
right.
on the character. I feel like it would be a bit too far. Remember when Multiverses did that and tried to make people buy T-shirts for their characters,
Yes,
and they
the
look
fumble that was
horrible.
Multiverses, bro. Oh my goodness, yeah. And
That game used to
honestly,
be great.
I think with Rebirth of Souls and with Bleach as an IP, we do have enough alternate costumes that even if we don't get something like that, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, pretty sure mods will actually hop on that eventually, either if we don't get it.
Oh, man, I'm so glad you said that. I didn't even think about that. The mods are going to go insane. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
I will be stuck on PlayStation, but I always like looking at the videos with the mods and everything like that. Like, the mods go crazy.
Don't you worry, I'll hook you up with the PC build whenever you feel like checking out something new. I got you.
Okay, bet. Alright, bet. Yeah, I'll hit you up for that. Thanks.
Because definitely, yeah, the mods, there's no way they do a cease and desist like Multiverses did.
No.
Because the few mods that I want definitely, because I already have them listed down, is for one, yes, skins, customization, nothing too crazy. But for two, because yet again, another reminder, I am planning to start a tournament series in the future. I forgot to tell you beforehand, but it would be nice to have free cam because I already suggested that they should at least do
Mm,
replays if this is going to be a fighting game so that you can get your own cinematic angles. I have a lot of plans for
right.
that. And the third one, if I can remember, if they do not find a way to make those awakenings short, I am getting them on for that.
Like, the actual awakening cutscenes themselves?
Yeah, can you imagine? The nerds on the internet have already counted. I
Mm.
counted too. Those are like double digit awakenings, bro. Not even Dragon Ball level threes are that long.
Yeah, that to be completely honest, after the first depending on how long I'm on the game at a time, after the first 3 days to a week, it's probably going to get old very
Hundred
fast.
percent, 100%. Can you
I didn't even
imagine playing
think
a
about that.
first to
That's a really
10
good
with
point.
those consistently?
Oh,
Uh-uh.
Jesus. Oh, no.
That's exactly what's gonna kill momentum,
Yeah,
especially if they want to have us as the community make a tournament scene. And random people pop
right.
up and they get bored seeing, bro, I feel like I've seen that same awakening in game two, three, and four. Why do they keep doing that? It's because they have to. I'm sorry, y'all. It's the only way they're
Right.
gonna win.
Especially if it ends I don't think it'll end up like this just because of how unique the characters we've seen are, but especially if it ends up going the Demon Slayer route and we're seeing the same couple of characters, if not the same character over and over again at the
Right.
highest level, that
I
yeah,
don't think
that'll
it'll be
get
like that.
old very
Yeah, that
fast.
would get old. Like the meta won't be too locked, you think? Because there are a lot of characters so far.
Right, there are, and I do genuinely think that they want to avoid something like that just because of how they were talking about how they want the game perceived. They said they want it to be a competitive game, and they're taking influence from a lot of games, so I don't think
Exactly.
we're going to see something that drastic, but just like any other game, there are going to be a few top tiers that a lot of people gravitate towards, whether that's due through ease of use or how much damage they do or things like that, but I think that everybody that we've seen so far has pretty much a fair shot against any other character, and we're gonna see a lot of variety for sure.
Yeah, the dev definitely said so himself. Sorry, disrespectful. Suzuki-san, our savior. I've been watching too many of those random videos and people don't want to research what the dev's name is. Suzuki-san, our savior, who made or helped make, because there are a bunch of producers on One Piece Odyssey, so there's his background, and he enjoys games like Guilty Gear, Dragon Ball Fighters, and all that. So it means he understands
Mm,
what makes fighting games fun. And he's been in
Right.
talks with people like Harada and the producers of Street Fighter 6, which is now the coolest game on the market because they learned from Street Fighter 5. And I can't look away from Street Fighter 6 because how pretty it is, like Rebirth of Souls. We might just
Right.
win. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm trying not to glaze too much, but just look at this, bro. We can just start
Yeah,
on the
it's and
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was about to I was about to ramble too long. You could go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say, like, the gameplay that we've seen is not giving me the because no matter what, I will continue to call this an arena fighter because at the end, like point blank period, at the end of the day, that's exactly what this game is. It's two characters fighting in an arena. You know what I mean? It's not,
Exactly.
it's that that's what it is.
We
But
can
it's a
agree on
take
that.
on arena fighters that we have not seen yet that's going for a competitive versus a cash grab. I feel like we haven't seen an arena fighter focus on anything other than just being an IP cash grab in a very, very long time.
Bro,
And people wanted that from Sparking Zero as well. Sorry to bring up Sparking Zero during a Bleach podcast, but
we
like
had
I
to
think that
eventually.
a lot of the you said what?
We had to eventually.
We had to have we have to. Like, we've gotta talk about it. Like, that's a lot of what people wanted in Sparking Zero, I think we will be seeing in Bleach, because people wanted a competitive, fun environment with Sparking Zero, and what they got was stinky cheese. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted customizable characters, they wanted genuine combos, they wanted an actual fighting game, but I don't think that that's what we ended up getting just because they focused too much on what they thought made, the Budokai Tenkaichi series fun versus what people actually came away from it with, you know what I mean?
Exactly. It ain't main stage in Evo. That's for damn sure. It will be a side
Absolutely,
tournament. It'll be
yeah,
fun too.
absolutely not.
I mean, it'll be fun if we actually got a higher shot with our game to main event if it's actually as competitively viable as the people
Mhm.
at Tamsoft is promoting it to be. Because if you look at the history of making things on a multiplayer scale, the last thing I remember is Senran Kagura PvP, the titty game. And yet again, ass is life, tits is hometown. Respect that. With that, the dodging is similar. You can jump in that game, which I'm pretty sure we're not going to get until the sequel because it really feels like Dark Souls PvP if you look at Rebirth of Souls from a different angle. It's
Mm.
it's the route of it's just a different 3D fighter that we got.
Yeah. And you're right, I don't think that we have talking about Bleach Rebirth of Souls, I don't think we're gonna have jumping capability in that because it looks like every single level shift we see is due to some attack or animation taking that character to that next level. I don't think we've seen like a genuine like upwards change in direction based off of anything other than a character being hit there, you know?
Yeah, there's no jumping. It's more like axis manipulation depending on which move you use. For
Mm.
example, the it's mostly special moves and the red attack, the spinny red attack that if you're
The
on the
launcher?
ground, yeah, the launcher, the red one
Okay.
that makes like a little vortex. When you hit them, if you're on the ground, they go high. Then they do the spirit particle thing where, okay, they're basically flying. Technically, they're
Right.
not flying, and the nerds will remind me I do not care. They're basically flying. And if you hit them while they're airborne, because the more you move, I noticed, the more you move, the more you will be slowly put on the same axis as them so that you're not too high or not too low.
Right.
Like there's no
Right.
like shifting with it. You just follow each other so that you can meet on the same plane. It's actually really smart.
Yeah, it is. Because I'm thinking back in my head of the gameplay that we have seen, and you're 1000% correct. It's them meeting each other on that that equal ground. You know, they're in the air. I was gonna say the equal footing. That might be a better way to put it. But yeah, no, that's really good. And it still looks like we'll have mix and everything like that because you can't just hold block and guard from both sides no matter what. Like there's actually front, back, left, right mix in that sense. But I'm wondering how much control we'll have when it comes to how much ground we can cover in neutral, or if that's
Right,
going to be
yeah,
more
yeah.
so a character specific thing, you know?
That's when it comes to controlling the neutral, right? It's mostly like playing what's the one that uses Honkai Impact. I don't know if you've ever played that game, the mobile one.
No.
The whole reason why Genshin exists, all these Genshin kids don't know none about Honkai. In it, it's basically like Devil May Cry without jumping. The action game where you'll be locked onto characters and you can swing all you want. It's the same thing with Bleach. Because you can't really jump, you're mostly focusing on outspacing your opponent, right? You're
Okay.
mostly focusing on keeping a distance from them. If you got the infighters like Ichigo and Chad, you're forced to get in. But if you got like outfighters like Byakuya and Mayuri to an extent, even though you got like what two command grabs, then you can keep
Right.
your opponents as far away from me as possible, which even works in local multiplayer or whatnot. So I don't think there's much to worry about in that case. Pretty sure the archetypes are chilling. Y'all,
Okay.
for me and Lee, let me know what do you expect year one of Bleach Rebirth the Souls to look like, because that is going to be our next topic. What do you think this game, this is a vague question, but what do you think this game is going to look like post launch?
Okay. That's a great question, actually. And you're saying up to a year after launch, right?
Yeah, once it launches, what do you expect us to have like frame one? Like what game modes? What kind
Frame
of
one. Okay.
skins?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So frame one, obviously we're going to have the basic online multiplayer, local multiplayer, story mode, and then shop mode. And I think this what I want to see. I think the shop mode is going to specifically be Kisuke's shop. Like it's gonna actually like you're going into the Urahara shop and
Oh,
actually
for
shopping
sure.
around in there. Not like running around, but like that's just the background that they're gonna have.
It's too good to pass
I
up.
think it's too good. It's right there, right? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it's right there.
And for once, he's actually going to be
So
selling reasonable wares in that dingy ass shop. So it's a plus. Relevant in a video game, huh? Urahara-san.
absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's where we're gonna get all of our like our player badges, our player banners, our
Oh,
cosmetics,
that would
maybe
be
voice
sick.
lines. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because
yeah, I think that's
you know what freaks us? You know what freaks me out? We have not seen a single lick of this UI. They didn't even show it at Kruby Inside. Those, ooh,
yeah.
ooh. Now's not the time to crash out. They will in 2 weeks at Jump Festa, which they're giving it a Japan only. Which another tangent that we got to go over. Do you think we're gonna get a demo or a beta anytime soon, Lee?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think that we're going to be getting one just based off of how games from Bandai Namco have been releasing to us recently. I think
Mm,
that whatever feedback they get from the people that play the game in real life is what they're using as their quote unquote beta test. And then we're just going to get what we get. And then for the first week, maybe first month, it'll be us letting them know, hey, this is trash in this area. Please fix this. And then we'll finally get our big patch. I think I unfortunately think that's the direction the game is going to go in. Unless this trailer we're wrong about it being a release date trailer and it's like a beta or a demo announcement trailer. That
when
that
they
could
reveal
be
it
that
at the
could be the
end.
case too.
It could be a possibility
Exactly.
because I unfortunately agree with you on that too. I was really hopeful looking how fighting games do. If they really want to prove themselves as a fighting game, they're ticking most of the boxes, but unfortunately, they do got to tick all the boxes, which includes letting the world or at least parts of the world test it. I know my continent's
Yep.
normally neglected in it, but North America, Japan, Europe, those are normally the ones that they go after. I mean, they got us for Tekken. Tekken had the closed network test. Whatchamacallit? Guilty Gear had the developers, backyard type shit. Street Fighter 6,
Hmm.
all the fighting games, Bamco or not. But because this is of the fighting games of the fighting game triangle, you got traditional fighters, you got platform fighters, and then arena fighters. That triangle's
Hmm.
upside down and we're at the bottom. And because it's at the bottom, that means we might not even get a beta test, which is rough, but it would be very wanted.
Very wanted indeed. Yeah, I think the best thing that if we don't at the very least get beta tests or get a beta test for Rebirth of Souls, if it would at least pop up at some more events or more conventions or more game shows, like even Hunter x Hunter Nin Impact is like creators and just fighting game enthusiasts in general. I feel like they had a lot of chances to get their hands on that game and be able to just play around with it and see what was going on in a way that Rebirth of Souls, I don't see them doing because they haven't done it yet. Like it was,
Exactly.
we got our first announcement in July, I think, if I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen what, 2 bits of gameplay from it, like extent quote unquote extended gameplay from it since then. Whereas like Hunter x Hunter Nin Impact has been at a lot of places in a lot of hands in front of a lot of eyes. So
Going
that's
through a
more
lot of
so what's
changes.
leading me to a lot of changes too, and honestly, that game is looking. At first it was kind of off my radar, but it's a little bit on there now. But I think that if we were going to see anything demo related, we would have been seeing a lot more people be able to play the game in person beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's definitely, it has to be on the roadmap. I mean, we
Right.
can't really count anything out too much because they're keeping us a little out of the loop, which I'll get into. Off topic, because it's ArcSys. ArcSys doesn't fuck around, for the lack of a better term, when it comes to getting feedback from their consumers. Being at
Hmm.
Evo, they went to France, they went to America, they went everywhere. They're going everywhere with this game to the point where they're changing so much that they're trying to make it an entirely different game, and they need to stick to their guns on that, despite it looking like a PS2 game, and maybe add Yu Yu Hakusho down the line. Back on topic. Back on topic. We're not talking Togashi, we're talking Kubo Sensei. If he wants people to be invested for a long time, you know, what was the point I was gonna make? Then keeping us invested with developer updates, which we have not gotten
Mm,
any yet, from launch onwards or like close to launch, so that they can at least have us, everybody online, have a dialogue with the developers, because it's mostly like politician style. Look at our game, it's so pretty, we're
right.
sucking you in. We're a different arena fighter, and we're with it. We can't lie, we're with it. But then we gotta talk to somebody to feel like we're talking to human beings working on this game, because so far it just feels like a promotional campaign.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything we say kind of just goes into the void when it comes to Rebirth of Souls. Yeah,
Right.
I definitely get that vibe as well.
Yeah, we don't got no devs to talk to. I mean, the Discord server is mostly just everybody of the community, so we're on a DIY type thing. To stay grassroots, I think it's best that we run tournaments ourselves for at least the first year or so. They can hop on the bandwagon, sure, but then uh they can support us however way, but not too much to the point where it feels like the Overwatch League trying to steal as many sponsors year one. No, 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 no. That's very
Right.
doubtful. That's good that we can push that out the way, but if they can show like the minuscule support of, yo, we might throw a little funds here, you can have it at this venue, or we're gonna have one tournament, one big old tournament once a year, which is, I'm not sure about that. That's a whole nother conversation for another time.
Yeah, I do think though that if for the longevity of this game, content creators and fighting game enthusiasts have to come together and get these tournaments going, these online tournaments going, even if it's specifically online tournaments and we don't get anything local. I think that the online tournament scene, if it's heavy enough, can genuinely carry a game well past its actual expiration date.
That's the plan.
And exactly, like, and if they see that, okay, cool, maybe we get, Rebirth of Souls 2,000 Year Blood War edition. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
we just honestly don't know what the full plan for this game is. But I think the biggest thing is, and going back to the original topic for this segment of some things we might see at launch, I think if we can at least get spectator lobbies, like for online matches and like custom rooms,
that has to be
this
there.
game is going to be set up for success. If that's not there and they just didn't learn anything from the launch of a lot of the other games we've seen. Where I'm pretty sure Storm Connections had was it no custom lobbies or no
It had no
spectator
custom
lobbies, right?
lobbies, no replay. I remember the Afro Senju video was complaining, and I had nothing to do with the game because, like the rest of the internet, I wasn't laughing, but I was watching from outside the club. Like I do not want to be in there, so I feel sorry for y'all.
Absolutely.
All the online was
Yeah, like
basically
that's
shite. That's all you gotta know.
right, and that's what you do not want in the era of you have to play this game online. You don't want to do that to your
Right?
competitive fighting game, I
You
say in
do
air
not want to
quotes,
hurt
because
your
that's
online scene. Yeah.
exactly, like, that online scene is going to be what carries that game, truthfully. Like, we can say all we want about sales, we can say all we want about in live, events, this, that, and the third, Evo, whether it's there or not, but that
Mm,
niche online fighting community is honestly the backbone of every single fighting game with any type of longevity, in my opinion.
type shit. Type shit. I mean, there are gonna be
Yeah,
a
and
lot of
I
people.
hope we can get that with Bleach.
We will, 100%. When it comes to the community, we do be running our own stuff like from frame one. We do be supporting a game after death. The one scene I will shout out, all you weirdos in the kill if side. That game is still so much fun to watch on the same level as Smash Ultimate for me because that game has so much love poured into it despite it having so many things wrong with it on launch that basically make it feel like a glorified demo. But then they modded it to
Mhm.
the point where it could feel like a real video game. They have so many colors in the game. The stages, which we will get into later, play a big part into how people fight. It is just entertaining because every hit matters. With Bleach, it's got to be the same thing. The moves got weight. It's fun to watch every game. It doesn't feel sluggish. And the community will want to spawn weekly tournaments even way after because I feel like the way we this game has to succeed as an arena fighter, which is it's still alive and healthy with an active fan base by year two. That's just how it is.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And honestly, how much of that do you think will depend on things like post-launch support, like not even just patches, but things like DLC with new maps, new characters, new cosmetics. Like how much of that do you think is on the developer side versus on the actual player side?
I think that is 100% with both because
Okay.
DLC keeps us invested. This is for the developers. DLC is what keeps returning mainstays like us, if the game is good, and it won't be one of those, oh no, y'all fumble the bag, which they won't. Good energy. We gonna win. And the devs who are going to possibly sell us fan favorites, side characters, even one or few main characters who weren't as prominent in Ichigo's story as DLC. Because people would freak out if people like Orihime, like I said in the last episode, or damn Dangai Ichigo, who might or might not be playable in the final fight, if they put him in some fighters past 3 or 5, like
Uh,
in 2026, people will just eat that up and you will buy it. They
Right.
will buy it. Come on now, won't will they
Absolutely.
buy it?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, like that's there, man, like that. I just literally people I myself would take time off work just to be able to get that gameplay in. You know what I mean? Like
You
that's yeah,
see,
no, I'm 1000%.
the more they invest in long-term support as devs, the more we as players will enjoy supporting it because the chances are, even if
Right.
they fumble, which they shouldn't and they won't, if they actually showing that they want our money long term, they will support it as long as possible, keeping it alive with DLC updates and patching it for however long they can, which has to be if like throughout the year, which is why I said there needs to be a dialogue with at least
Right.
a few mainstay developers. You know what I mean? When they do that,
Absolutely.
whenever we get a new DLC patch with a new character, new stages, new skins, which are inevitable at this point, the more of a healthy, active, and happy fan base we'll have, and possibly have the. And I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people who are mad, but there are going to be a lot more people who are happy, which is what we're about. The greatest arena fighter of all time.
Yep.
It's going to be
Yep.
peak. Peak.
Peak, Bleach,
If they're
peak. You just
peak,
you have to say them both. Like, yeah, dude.
peak.
I genuinely think that this will be the greatest arena fighter of all time. They have everything going for them. It's just and bringing it back to the to this particular segment, what do you think they need to launch with to make sure that it solidifies as the greatest arena fighter of all time? Like, what are some things that you think we need and that it's just non-negotiable on launch for us to have for that to be, for that to be true?
Oh, you're firing off with the questions that I already have. We're doing the Spider-Man pointing meme again.
Great minds, bro. Great
Great minds
minds. Because
think
I'm like,
alike.
I need to know.
So basically, what do they need from day one or
Yeah,
day one?
just from launch, from the day we say we get the game February 22nd. What do we need from day one for it to set itself up for, in your opinion?
In
Because it
my
sounds like
opinion,
you have a lot of insight about like fighting games and what makes them enjoyable from the community side as well. So that's really helpful, like in helping me answer this question for myself as just a
yeah.
general fan.
It's just the game dev in me. I'm sorry. It can't help but be technical with it, but I try to be like as fun as possible so that we don't scare away the host, to put it simply.
Right, right.
But yes, because we want as many cool people. Bleach is the coolest anime. Quick tangent, but it's the coolest anime.
Yes.
I want many of the uncool and cool nerds to come together to have an enjoyable experience with this game, bro. Because like I don't want to be the only one dripped out and y'all don't be dripped out in your cosplay. Come on now. But I'm gonna bounce that
Exactly.
question. Yeah, I'm gonna bounce that question before we meet at a con, which will probably be next year. I gotta get my money off of that. Y'all tell us what you want. Yes, you podcast listener. Sorry we haven't been as invested with this with y'all in the conversation, but let me know what you want in day one that'll make this game successful, as Lee said. Cause where my notes at, nigga? Cause I got a list, but I'm gonna keep it to the base, the bare minimum. First, that tutorial needs to be good and not boring.
Oh,
That cannot
yes.
be that cannot be a Blaze Blue visual novel ass it might be tutorial where you're reading a lot more about the character's lore that you do not give a fuck about, rather than teaching
Right.
me how to do an anti-air, nigga. Or teaching me how to do we
Right.
don't got anti-airs here. Teaching me how to do a goddamn outspace, how to sidestep at the right time to get that slowdown effect, how to properly use Yorichi's SP2, what was that? No, it's SP1. Super Gal Punch. How do I properly outspace niggas in this stage? That's what I want to learn. Because the base mechanics
Right.
seem basically simple, and if they cannot make that seem fun with interactive button mashing, then they lost me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that that's also another area where Sparking Zero kind of failed too, was its tutorial side, where it's like, okay, you're teaching me what these things are, but like, when do I need to use these against what types of characters and what settings, and then how do I close that gap without having to just figure that out by ramming my head against a wall like
Which,
that? Yeah,
yeah,
and it,
yeah, we're gonna do that as
yeah.
is. So it'll be nice if the game could provide us with the bandages and the first aid kit.
Exactly. Literally, because it's like I don't exactly anything to make, because no matter what, losses are gonna happen when you're learning. No matter what, like that's just part of the fighting game nature. So as long as when I'm losing, I can understand why what I did was wrong based off of what I was told, then that's a win. That's a win in my opinion.
Exactly. Every loss is a lesson. So it's best that the game rewards us on having every loss teach us how to be a better player in this video game. The second
Absolutely.
thing, which I'm gonna push to a third now, the new second thing is those ending animations. I gotta ask you, Lee, do you think those final soul destructions are too long and people are going to rage quit before you see the win screen online? Let me give
Oh,
you a visual real quick.
hey.
Yeah, let me give you a visual real
Okay.
quick. Remember in the Ichigo versus Yorichi fight, those apparently there were devs playing and they didn't block, and they're in that canyon. Remember that one? Caribbean side.
Yes.
And he did it multiple times. When he got that final hit, he hit confirms it. That thing was 20 seconds. In that time frame, do you think people will rage quit before you see the victory screen?
I will say, if there is no severe punishment for rage quitting, 1000% yes.
Mm,
1000% yes.
I'm
I
not.
think that we're going to see, because we've seen how hard it is to, I'm not going to say how hard it is, because that's going to be based off of who you are and who you're fighting against, but it takes a while for your fight to actually get to that point too, and you've already
Yeah,
sat through umpteenth animations before you get to the killing animation.
which is
So
so
I
annoying.
already know people are going to be fed up. They're going to be fed up by the time it's like, I done already lost 3 times over. I've watched 40 seconds worth of cutscenes. I'm done. My controller's already in a million pieces on the other side of the room.
You see that?
PlayStation's turned off. Like, yeah,
Talk.
I can see that. I can see that 1000%. You bringing that, and I didn't even think about that
It is gonna be
until you
annoying
said
though.
something.
It's like
Yeah,
holding a
one
fatality.
thousand percent.
I don't want our people turning into the NRS nerds. You know what they do? Ever heard of the auto restart?
No, I haven't.
Before the game ends in competitive NetherRealm play, whether it's Mortal Kombat or Injustice, the players take and they don't have to hold a 20-second cutscene to end the round or the game rather. They hit that pause, quick restart. You don't even get to see your victory screen. They do that. It's normal. Even the least of rage quitters is like tick, 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 boom, restart. So I
Really?
think they do that. Trust me. It's normal. It's been so consistent. It's normal where it's not even a bad thing. Like you do quick restart so you don't have to. It's you only wait 10 seconds until you see the victory screen, then you can hit restart in that UI. But a good
Okay.
fix for that, if Tamsoft is listening, which they aren't, but somehow they should, is when you see that final soul destruction, knowing damn well then nobody wants to hold that. You can hit any
Oh my
button and
god.
the restart, go to character select, main menu screen will show up while the animation is playing. Then you can skip.
That's a really good, no, yeah, yeah, because I think in fighters too, with the dramatic finishes, if anybody presses a single button, it's over, right?
You see? Yeah.
Ah,
It
okay,
should be the
because
same
I'm
thing.
like, it should be the same thing. Like, that seems like a good modern fighting game, like, convention now. Yeah, that is really good, because I'm like, how dare you skip my cutscene? But then it's like, because I've seen this cutscene 30 times before I fought you. Like, yeah, like
Yeah,
that's
I don't want to see it
okay. That
either.
makes a
You
lot
got
of
it.
sense. Like, we both know you won. You got it, bro. It's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that does make a lot of sense. No, I get it now, and I'm on the same page, because at first
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think you at first before I heard your reasoning, I was like, I don't think you should be able to skip the cutscenes as a whole. But
Mm.
like, no, that's it. It should be a mutual respect thing. Like, if we're watching this, it's because we're both watching this. You know?
You see, like keep in mind though, I don't mean the in between cutscenes where, the in between soul destructions where if you hit those, it takes away a set amount of stocks, but you're still in the game.
Right,
Those are
right,
like round transitions. Those can
right.
stay
Yeah,
because
no,
that's
you
you
need
rethinking.
those.
Yeah, that's you rethinking your strategy. Or if you're winning, how am I gonna go into homing dash? I could round start, dodge. It's like another round start. But the last one, the game's
Exactly.
over. You know?
Right. And you've done already sat through so many by the time you even get there, and then who knows how many matches deep you are before this one even start. Yeah, no, that'll be a very, very good mechanic. I'm glad you brought that up. No, I think
Yeah,
you should be able to have at least some type of, like, us watching this as mutual respect. It's not disrespectful for it to play, because I feel like if it
exactly.
gets to a point where it feels disrespectful that this cutscene is playing, though, the rage quits are gonna go through the roof, you know?
Yeah. Even if it's 20 characters, they are gonna get repetitive if for us who play all 20, or if it ends up being 30,
Oh,
which I feel like it's gonna. Yeah.
absolutely.
But yeah, that's the second one. Skipping the final soul destruction because people got places to be and games to play and rematches to hit. The third one,
Yeah.
because I wanna listen to your list real quick, is because I got too many of these. Training options. Those are a staple in fighting games. Good training options whenever you hit the lab, no matter what stage you pick, you should be able to, well, arena fighters, your precious sparking zeros and your storms and all these other demon slayer, they do not have a fleshed out one because, well, arena fighters are filthy casual games and not even built to be
Right.
competitive like that. Like producer June said for Sparking Zero, bro, I don't want my game to be fucking competitive, you nerds. Just mash as your favorite characters. You're here to settle your 1,000 year beefs because that's what this is. Like your childhood beefs, because this is the only game that your non-gamer friends will play and want you to have fun with, right? Now we're back on the
Right.
real gamer hours. You feel me? Training options to get better, setting where your character is going to stand on the stage, recording, because that's the simple thing that a lot of arena fighters lack for some reason. If we want to record certain strings, if somebody is doing a gap, if somebody's hitting you with a frame trap of a special move, like for example,
Mm,
if you're Ulquiorra and I'm damn, I don't know, Rangiku, I can't really hit you in the mid range, right? So I set you like a good distance. Like there should be like a sight line, like making a gap where you can raise it like a height maker. Like you can raise it to be too far because there's probably an invisible wall keeping you from walking all the way back, or like real close.
right.
I'm trying to punish a zero. If I'm trying to punish a zero from like a certain range, I gotta know what options I have. So once I set you, I'm recording you
Right.
to hit light and then punish the zero. Oh, let me try dodging. Or if I dodge because he hits zero, it snaps him. Okay, let me try parrying. Parrying works. Boom, I'm learning. People gotta learn. You feel?
Right. Exactly. And it's gotta be pain-free when they're learning too. That's my biggest thing. Like we said earlier, we're already going to be ramming our head against the wall once we get online and try everything out that we've been practicing. So it's gotta be pain-free when we try to actually practice it too. So yeah, that's you are spitting right now. Like that is 1000% true.
I've been waiting a long time to spit these notes. Plus, I've been seeing all the people on the internet talk that talk too. It got me in a. I haven't been in a Reddit in a while, and I don't like that place because I can smell it, and I don't like smelling that place. But that's the one community. Shout out, despite having a jank name, Rebirth of Souls Bleach, our Rebirth of Souls Bleach. Again, good for smelling like you guys take showers. I appreciate you. Nobody's actually a bona fide jerk there. Everybody's cool peoples. Shout out to y'all. And on the what else? The tweets, the Discord, they're the same chill people. And what we can confirm is people do not want their. Everybody can agree, all y'all, that you do not want your time wasted when you play this game. We want to have fun and
Right.
play a video game and not watch a goddamn uncinematic masterpiece. Because that will not be an
Yep.
absolute cinema. And I put that on your fuck.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think that there's a lot of things that this game has going forward for it, and it's just a matter of not fumbling, you know? Like it's just if we can get a halfway decent training mode like you're saying with actual settings, we're going to
Mm.
be able to I'm fine with I'm not going to say anything after that, but I'm like if you can teach me how to play the game without me having to bust out like 10, 20, 15, or 50 hours of outside the game research just trying to figure out how your mechanics in the game actually work, it's going to
Mhm.
be a lot better. Like, I think that there are some things that it's just going to be hard to package in a way for everybody to understand. Like with fighters, like they do a good job of teaching you how to play the game, but from what I remember when I first booted up that game, I had to do outside research to see how like the actual buttons flow with each other in the
Oh.
form of a combo. You know what I
How do
mean?
people play? I feel. I did the same thing, even though I
Exactly.
knew understood. But it would be nice to see how uh, you're supposed to be. What is the word we use in fighting games? Optimal. That's the one.
Optimal, exactly. Exactly. So if they have like some like optimal strings already set for you in there, if it has the legitimate like the what is it called? The button like the input display for your buttons, like all the
Yeah,
frame
yeah,
data and
exactly.
everything
That
like
should be
that,
there.
like if we have that in our training mode too, that lets me know, okay, they are taking this game seriously and they want you to take the game seriously too, you know?
If they care, we will care too. It's that simple.
It, it's that simple.
I mean, we're going all in on how to keep this Bleach game alive, but it seems like they definitely want to do the same thing. I mean, like I said, it's got to be popular for at least 2 or more years with an active fan base that's still growing, like
Yep.
any other fighting game. And because that's light work for like the traditional and the platform fighters, and we might actually be taken seriously on a wider scale. Hell, maybe have well-known fighting gamers want to show up to our tournaments. You feel?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, like once you have those respected people respecting the game even more, we could turn around what people think of when they hear arena fighter as a whole, and that's extremely exciting for me to think about.
exactly. We're all in this together. There's no avoiding it. I mean, what's the other tangent I want to go on? What do you think they need? Top three things they need to actually keep this game alive from day one onwards.
Day 1 onwards, I'll
Like,
say this: decent netcode. I don't think we're gonna get anything like rollback level or anything like that, but it just needs to not be like pulling teeth playing a game online. That's
yeah,
probably gonna be my number one thing there. I also hope that they don't go super duper transactiony route when it comes to the extra cosmetics.
yeah,
I
I don't
hope
think they
that there's
will.
like a legitimate, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
don't think they will. Like I think that it's gonna be like, okay, play these game modes or play through story mode or get to a certain level and we'll be able to actually get these extra cosmetics, because there's nothing worse than playing a game where the characters constantly look the same, everybody's using the same character, and everybody's playing on the same stage. Like that gets old quick. And I think you'll see a player count tank within the first couple of weeks, if not the first month of the game,
we'll
for
see it in
something
Steam
like that,
charts.
just like inaccessible.
Yeah,
Exactly. You'll see it on the Steam charts. Like it's just the numbers don't lie. You can't make those numbers lie. You know what I mean?
let's not turn this into another Concord, but one with a lot of hype with it. We do not need that in our
Oh
life.
man. Exactly. We do not need that. And
And I
especially with something is go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna touch up on the net code thing. This might be a bit controversial, but I say this on the scale of wanting to keep people connected because I know a lot of people like to whine, bitch, and complain and cry about regions and sticking to them, but I feel like it's got to be somewhat region free, which is a bit hopeful. You can stick with your region, NAEU and whatnot, but I've played a lot of video games. Like I'm pretty sure the mainstay fighting games do, where you can pick your own region. This is one side. You can pick your own region so that you can have a stable connection. Or if you're gonna do a worldwide thing, it's gotta have the most stable netcode we've ever seen. Killer Kill's done it. Goddamn,
Mhm.
Strive did it, and I went to the wrong region. I could not notice the difference. So it's got to
Mhm.
be solid. But now, go ahead.
Yeah, it definitely has to be. It definitely has to be. And I think that if they go the route where they don't do regions, it still could be a priority system to where you have whatever region you want set and you have your specific, like you don't want to go below a green connection or a yellow connection or
Yeah,
five
no,
bars,
okay,
four
yeah.
bar, whatever it
The
is.
lag picks should be a staple when it comes to online.
Exactly. Like I think that that'll help mitigate a lot of that, but it just is like, one, will it actually be there? And two, if it is there, will it work properly? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Because another thing is, I'm not trying to region lock my tournament to the point where
Right.
people from a certain region can't play. Because how can I say that I got world class players when players from the rest of the world aren't even in my tournament? That's a weak flex, and y'all gotta step up on that account. Not naming no names, but on
Absolutely.
my name, I'm trying to keep world famous supernatural fighters when I got players coming in. When I try to raise them to a higher bar to show that, oh, we got strong bleach players, I'm trying to show the world, not just my region, but the world.
Exactly. Yep. And I 1000% agree with you. Like it's especially in 2024, 2025 when this game actually drops, we got to be able to play with anybody, everybody, anytime at all. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's just how that works. That's true competition right there. So I agree with you. That's a good take.
yeah. Or, but if it stays region locked, I'm down to split it into different regions. I will not neglect y'all. I actually have cojones. And if it Even leads to that, I'm gonna even do a live and in stereo one. I'm pretty sure y'all are gonna beat me to it in the States. I'm gonna fly out to one of those, preferably a big one, if y'all actually show up for it. Because just to gauge how everybody reacts for the first Bleach tournament or the biggest Bleach tournament type shit. It'd be fucking
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, no. I think that if we I mean, hey, listen, if we end up getting like super duper thick into the competitive scene with this game, we might see it on some Evo stages. Maybe not a main event type of thing, but at least people playing the game while they're there. You know what I mean? Like that could be where this game goes. Like I genuinely don't know though. I just if the amount of work we have to overcome as a community to get rid of the arena fight. First of all, it's an arena fighter and an anime fighter on top of that. Like it's just two, I mean, they normally go hand in hand, but it's two stigmas against quote unquote real fighting games that this has to fight through. So
Well, yeah, we
it's
got too
but
much
I think it's
baggage.
going to be too much exactly, way too much baggage, but I think they're gonna do this game justice, dude, and I think that all the things that we're saying the game will need at launch, like a good training system, actual spectator lobbies, custom lobbies, like I hope some form of punishment for rage quitting and then some way to skip out of those cutscenes, whether that's mutual respect or whether that's somebody just has to, just press the options. But whatever it is, as long as there's a way to get out of there, I think that this game is going to be able to stand on its legs for years to come.
Yeah, we chilling. We're chilling, just to put
Absolutely.
it simply. But that's fooling on the competitive side. To slowly round this off, we got to talk about the filthy casuals that we will have. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, it may be a fighting game, but we must remember that this is a video game and we play video games to have
Yeah.
fun. Even if you are suffering with it, just when you thought you were out, they stay pulling you back in. So, on that, story mode. Do you think it's going to have an overworld like an adventure mode where you run around like those one Storm games, or in a typical RPG like Persona when you're running in between fights?
I do not think it's going to have an overworld, to be completely honest with you.
Hmm.
Unless this game is going to be in the latter half of early 2025, I think it's more so going to be like a chapter select type of situation,
Right.
and you sit through cutscenes, whether those cutscenes are fully animated, partially animated, or just a slideshow here or there.
Yeah.
I know for a fact we do have fully animated cutscenes, but I think it'll be cutscene to fight to cutscene to fight at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, they're doing a RPG cutscenes. I don't know if you saw that. The when Ulquiorra and Orihime were talking before he fought with Ichigo. It's like
Hmm.
the name, the text that they have underneath, and it's all voice acted, and you just press the X button to advance in it, or you could have it auto. I honestly think you might, ooh, there's a heavy might, be able to run around these places. Because why wouldn't you want to run around your arenas before you get put in a fight? The fights are going to be like RPG style, where you're basically playing the fighting game and just mashing buttons. And
Okay.
once it's over, you delete the lives because they're going to make the hollows non-playable NPCs basically that you fight. So Graham Fisher and
Right.
Fishbone might not be playable, but you'll be able to beat them up as Ichigo or whatnot. And there's another thing, because I do think there's gonna be a bench mode where you can just run around between fights, is they might make, which is a dumb idea, they might just call like side quests filler. They might make the filler side quests if they actually wanted to go too crazy
Oh,
with it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Right, right, right. So like a lot of the filler stuff would be side quests that you're doing on the actual like main mission that is the main story stuff.
Exactly, because it'll be waste of a lot of models too. Because just picture this, right? You're walking around the park in Karakura, the one where what you call it? Ichigo and Byakuya fought and crew be inside like the park in Karakura. You could like run down the road. Maybe they'll have active cars, like what they do in Zenless Zone Zero with the running around and
Okay.
whatnot. And you want to go, you're like, hey, real quick, I want to pull up to the Urahara shop. You could pull up fast travel, or you could run to a certain edge where it says go to Kura, um, Kisuke's, whatever. and you'll teleport you. You can see, oh look, they're the twins sitting down over there. Hey, Tessai, what's good? You can walk up to them, spark a conversation RPG style, or you could just walk directly into the shop.
Mm,
It's too good of an opportunity to pass up if they actually care. Because let's be honest, it's a possibility they'll do chapter by chapter, but if they want to set themselves away from the pack, from sparking and storm, which already do the easy way out because they probably put too much work in the rest of the game, let's be honest. This
yeah.
is a very high budget product, so I would not put it past them for actually having a little adventure mode. It's like simple running around as Ichigo in like his uniform or whatnot. Because come on now,
If we get an adventure mode in Bleach Rebirth of Souls,
yeah,
I will be willing to give them any amount of money that they ask for. I'm
because
I'm
that
I'm not going to like
because that
that is the
adventure mode is the
sickest
story
thing.
mode. Yeah,
Right, yeah, like that to me, if we get something like that, like how because that's literally how video games used to be, whether they were arena fighters, anime fighters, whatever. Like you used to be able to just run around in your little hub world, going from place to place, and then start your missions. Like a lot of the Naruto games used to be like that. A lot of the Dragon Ball games used to be like that with the story mode. Like that's just how they used to be. So if we go back to form, so to say, when it comes to Bleach Rebirth of Souls, and we do have that, I'm honestly like they it would be an automatic 8 out of 10 game, not even considering what gameplay is like. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that to
nothing
me is
lower
like
without even touching it. IGN will give it that score for free.
exactly like
Let's be
that.
honest,
Yeah,
they
like
won't.
that.
They'll misunderstand it. I'll be mad if they give it anything under a six.
Dude, yeah, like that. We got to take the IGN ratings with a grain of salt nowadays, especially. But it's like if there's one thing that doesn't lie, it's those Steam ratings. That will never lie to you. Like that's
True.
those when we get those Steam ratings and Steam reviews, that's how we know the game is actually performing well or not. And I think if we have that like story mode where it's the adventure style story mode, this game is going to be set up for success in a way that we haven't seen in a very long time. Like imagine we had that with Sparking Zero, you know what I mean? Like I think people would eat that up and it
That's
would
what
have added
everybody
a lot of
expected.
replay. Yeah, right. Cuz it's like that in Xenoverse, right?
It's like that in Xenoverse. It's like that in Dragon Ball Kakarot, but this is their biggest one they have, and they didn't add it, and it's perplexing. I'm sorry, but it seems a tad bit lazy. Take that with a
It
grain of
does
salt,
seem
yo.
lazy. Oh, it 1000% seems like if there's one thing that I'll say there's two words that summarize what Sparking Zero is as a game, I would say lazy and possibly misunderstood. Not from
Damn.
the perspective of the consumer, but from the perspective of the developers. I think that they misunderstood what it was that people wanted out of another Budokai Tenkaichi game. And then they gave us something lazy instead. They were like, "Oh, people liked the roster count, and they liked how everything looked." And that's like where they hung their hat. It's the roster count and how everything looked versus the
Uh,
extra game modes and things like that. So if Bleach Rebirth of Souls doesn't make that same mistake, and we do get what I would call a genuine story mode and not just the chapter select bullshit, yeah, it's
yeah.
knocked out of the park, dude.
Let's be
I'm not
honest.
playing
Chapter
anything else.
select. Yeah, it would be a disrespect to us and every other anime fan who touches this game. Let's not be in that pack.
Absolutely.
Sparking Zero, they tried their best. It's still a fun game though, but Rebirth of
Oh
Souls is
yeah, yeah. Don't
having
get me
us
wrong. You
locked.
know,
Yeah, I totally get you. I'm just throwing out for the fans who misunderstand, because you know the type people who like to rush to the comments without actually listening to the rest of the story, because this is the internet. People like to
1000%,
jump to their conclusions. Think for a second, y'all.
1000%.
But it's good that we got Bleach fans. They think for a second, y'all. This game has to have us locked casually and competitively, and I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure they will for a long time. Well, just to round this off, because yo, we could go on for hours and we've been on for an hour. Now let's do something a little fun. Lee,
Okay.
if this ends up being 25, 30 characters down the line, and not everybody who is beloved, because there are a lot of characters, don't make it into the roster, go band for band on DLC with me real quick.
Cool.
5 characters. You can start. We'll go back and forth. who you think will not make base and will definitely make into a DLC season pass for season one. Let's do
For
season one.
season 1? Okay. All right. Hold on. Give me just a second because I know exactly who I think is going to be in DLC pack 1
Yeah, and y'all
and
who listening in, all you audio only, even video, if you're sticking with us, do the same thing in the comments. I'm not playing with y'all. 5 characters you think is gonna make into season pass one, and trust me, your favorite is probably gonna be in it, and not base. I know there's an Eisen fan down there. He's definitely making as the final character, either 25 or 30.
Oh yeah, no. That's I think we're going to get Eisen for sure in the base game, but what I think we're do I want to go red hot and say okay, I have two people that I'm thinking off the top of my head right now
Yeah,
that might be DLC.
let's start with the first one.
I'm saying the super red hot take. I'm thinking Shinji Visored. I'm thinking we might
Wow,
not get him in base. I'm thinking he might stay as DLC.
that's actually red hot for sure, because I think he's gonna make it in. At least one visit has to make it in to make it feel like it's fleshed out to have
Absolutely.
every group. But I agree with that.
Absolutely. And
But if we're going,
that's
sorry,
why
sorry,
my
go ahead.
second one would have been Hiyori, but I'm gonna go red hot. I'm gonna go red hot. I'm gonna just say
100%.
Shinji. We don't get any Visors in base game, and the first pack is gonna be them.
No Wizards, I get you. I have Yuri on my list too, but I'm gonna spin the block and do something different. Is this red odd if I say Shuhei?
Ooh.
Yeah, you see now, because Shuhei, I can't say too much, but he's a
Ooh.
figurehead. He's like, who's someone who is not a crash out, not a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a fumbled
Stand up.
bag of a person.
Oh,
Like that one goofy with the mustache says Jaden Sheba is you know what Shuhei is. Shuhei has so much potential but never lived up. He's wasted potential. That's the one.
a tracksuit Gohan. Yeah, no.
There we go. Gohan. There we go. Like Jackson Gohan. But that's one. So what?
Honestly,
What?
oh, that's a hot take too, because I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking we might see him in base game, so I think that's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. Okay, all right, all right.
Who you got second?
So then my second one is definitely Hiyori. I know I said Visors as a whole, but I'm gonna say
Yeah.
number one Shinji and then number two Hiyori.
All right, new rule. We can't pick the same one twice because I already got Hiyori on my list. Just to make it fun, I still got options. Two.
Okay.
Uh, this is gonna be deep. Stark. I'm not playing. Stark is a big figurehead, and I
Oh.
know people will buy him. If he was in base roster, people would be spamming. Already have Uyo as a spammer, and he would steal his thunder if he was released down. Like I don't know, if the game launches in like March, April. Say in August, people would. Oh no, the online servers would be full of him. I would be getting PTSD with how many Stark mains would be just spamming those Lily Net projectiles. Like, "Go, Lily Neto." Like, shut up, bro. You're so cool. Well, all right,
That's
third.
definitely a that, that's third. Okay, third. I'm gonna go Unohana.
You actually think she's gonna make base? I
I
mean
don't think I
DLC
don't
in
think
this version.
yeah, I think yes.
Yeah, that is hot. That's the hottest take so far.
Yes. I think she's gonna make DLC in this version, yes.
I don't even think she's gonna make it in at all until the second game.
And honestly, if they depending on how far this game goes, because I'm thinking that we're gonna get all the way to the full bringers in the DLC for this game. If
Yeah.
they don't touch Thousand Year Blood War arc at all, I could agree with that, to be completely honest, because we didn't what have we genuinely seen like spectacle wise that would have her be in the DLC above other people? But honestly though, I will say that's who I'm gonna go with.
She spooked Eisen once. I mean, that could be a move. She just stares at you and just you just die. Forget a soy for 2-hit kill. But my third, who's my third? Something random. I think she'll make base, but I'm just gonna troll and say Orihime. Yeah, you
Oh,
see.
tough.
It's a hot take, but
Oh, that
yeah,
is a hot take. That's sizzling hot. That is sizzling.
yeah.
Um, you know what? I'm gonna go hot take for hot take. Shit, what is his name?
Just describing, I
Hold on, let me
probably
make
got you.
sure. I think is his name Ikaku? I think that's his name.
Yes, the spear boy, the bald one who has
Yeah,
the
Spear Boy. Yep.
spear boy, the bald head. Sounds like he has Kamina's voice acting from Gurren Lagann. He's the best. I love that guy. Okay, so we're
I'm
going
thinking
that
we
for.
might.
Sorry,
Yeah, for four in my DLC. I'm thinking we're getting him in there. Yeah.
I will follow your energy with Squad 11. Just say Yumichika. Now, the fifth and final one. Man, Yumichika's so annoying. The beauty nerd is like, oh, you're so ugly. Bitch, what is that off of your eye? And you talking about ugly? I ought to smack the gay out you.
He
And you're not
got the
even
bird
gay.
feathers on his face, bro. Like,
Man acts like he's about to go to a fucking carnival in Rio and get kicked out. Fuck out of here.
oh man. Number five.
Number five.
What is his name? The main antagonist from the Fullbringer arc. What is his name?
The fake one or the real one? Ooh, is that
The
spoiling?
fake one. Ah,
Uh,
shit. Well, I mean, they've had
yeah,
15 years.
well, I mean, you got to know eventually. I mean, I saw it coming from a mile away when I did my rewatch. I mean, my first watch. Um, Tsukishima or something like that. Like the Haikyuu name. The one with the the full brain that makes people hit the switch sides on the controller select screen. That one. The one who's
Yes.
reading books. Yeah,
Yes.
I know. He's a good chance. I thought even Jackie, the fine ass shawty with the dirty boots quirk, I thought she'd make it in, but I think we'd be lucky to get two full bringers because the rest of them are not built like that.
No, yeah, bro. Yeah, you're
Just
absolutely right.
Ginjo and the bookworm, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But if I were to pick fifth,
I,
even though it's a stretch for season pass, one, Noel and Nini. You know who those are?
Noel and Ninny. Hold on.
Panda
No.
Wichu. You know, Kubo's spin-off manga about the witches who are basically witch cops
There's
that
no yeah,
shoot down
bro.
dragons.
There's
Same character.
there's there's no there's
I'm,
no way.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
There's
Split
no
character, but
way.
they work as one character. Hear me out. Hear me out. Here's my argument. All right, peep game. Let me tell
Okay,
you a
how
story.
yeah, explain okay. All right, I'll listen. I'll hear you out. I'll hear you out.
Pirate Mithra. I'm done. That's it. Stand switch. Pirate Mithra. You're playing two different characters like Zeku out of Street Fighter 5, or I don't even know who
That's
else
kind
does
of
something
wild.
like that. It's like you're playing two characters in one. You could pick damn Nini to do crazy rush down to get as much damage as possible, try to break the guard. But she also sucks at getting kills. Noelle, I don't even, yeah, Noelle. The blonde one basically does rush down, and the raven haired wannabe baddie does the killing and the soul destructions faster because she can close out rounds like when the people are open because she got power. So speed and power.
Mm,
I know somebody did a
you
video on
kind
that.
of
I didn't watch it, I'm
spitting.
not gonna lie. But they can work. Crossover.
Okay, so then that you know what you kind of spitting that would actually be kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. I think that would be and that would be really good for the game too. Like that just the possible just seeing that we get crossover characters and then like the possibility of what we could get in the future because of that. No, I think nah, you're kind of spitting there. I
You
still
see
think it's
though?
a super hot take,
It
but
is.
nah, I'm seeing a vision. I'm seeing a vision.
I need you
I'm
to
seeing the
listen to the
vision.
vision, you see? Because, like, there are a lot of people, a lot of characters, and these are Kubo's intellectual properties. This is just a spin off,
Right.
basically. So it could very much happen. It would be wasted potential if it didn't. And it'll look very funny to see two of them bitches in the character select screen take up one slot, and you'd be like, what the bitches doing? Let me see what's up with them. And yeah, those are season passes. I think it'd be really fun, really hot takes all around, not gonna lie. I was gonna turn that
Definitely.
what I just told you into a video, but let me be honest, that's a lot of footage and a lot of editing. And I do have an even harder take for DLC down the line. But we'll get into that in another episode. Mr. Warlord, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Reishi Radio.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I had a very, very fun time, great discussions, and I'm looking forward to possibly being back in the future, man.
Let me be honest, bro. You probably will because I don't have much guests to pick from, and I want to pick people who actually offer a discussion type shit, and you do exactly that. Stuff to get people talking because you do the analysis, and I'd be watching those. That's how I know. Otherwise,
Thank you, bro. I
y'all
appreciate it.
listening, thank you for coming, and thank you for listening, dear viewer, dear listener. Because I've got to figure out how to put this on the rest of the podcast spots. This has been the soulless podcast of all time for Bleach Rebirth the Souls, Reishi Radio. We will see you next Monday for the next character trailer, which will be probably taking up the whole hour talking about it if it's going to be Kiraku. And again, let us know who you think is going to be Season Pass. We're in for a great game, in for a great 2025, and let's keep on rising. Lee, you got anything to say to the peeps?
Honestly, just make sure not to rage quit when we run into each other online. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, let's not have that energy. If you want to be on site, keep it on site, y'all. Or we gonna fight. Keep that same energy, all right? Otherwise, see you on episode 3 of Reishi Radio for our next character reveal, and that's it. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Peace.